Hey guys, it's Aislinn, and in today's video, we're going to be bleaching my hair. It's been a while since we've done this front area here, so it's time to touch up my roots on this front area. I am also going to add a little bit more. I'm not going to add a lot more because I do like this smaller sliver in the front, but I am going to add just a little bit more hair here, maybe like this much more, just a sliver more, because I do feel like this is a little bit too shallow of a section. So we're going to thicken it up just a little bit. Now that my hair has grown out even more, I feel like a thicker money piece would look a little bit better. Before, when I did this, I only had like this much regrowth, so it didn't look the best with this money piece. But now that it's really starting to grow out, I think it would be okay if we took a little bit of a wider section. A bunch of you guys told me that Good Dye Young reformulated their lightening kit, so I went ahead and I purchased it. We're gonna try it today. I did try this when it initially came out in like 2020, and I made a video on it. Honestly, it was like my least favorite lightening kit I have ever tried. I was not impressed. The developer bottle was like bubbled out. It was just not a good experience, but you guys told me they reformulated, and honestly I would not be surprised if they did, because you guys know they reformulated a lot of their colors. I used to not be the biggest fan of their colors, and ever since I tried the new formulation, I actually like it a lot better. So I went ahead and I bought two kits. It's interesting because the two packages are different. I'm not sure which one's new and which one's old, but one of them says lightening 25 volume, and then the other one just says hair lightening kit. Both of them have 25 volume inside, but only one says 25 volume on the outside. The other one just says lightning kit. I don't know which is the new packaging, but just know you might get either of the packaging if you order it. The sides are also a little bit different. I am going to assume that this one is the newer packaging, the one that says 25 volume, just based on the this improvement here. I feel like this package looks a lot better, so I'm going to assume this is the newest one. The side of this says safe lightening, gentle lift, conditioning, strengthening, vegan, cruelty-free, gluten-free, born in Nashville, Good Dye Young. And it says beautifully obnoxious at the bottom. Again, the typing on the side is in different fonts. Same thing with the back. The back of the box is a little bit different too. I'm just gonna go off of the newer one, or the one that I assume is newer. The box says, the hair lightening kit is the perfect way to get your hair prepped to take on some bold color. This formula gently, easily, and safely lifts hair 3 to 5 levels. It contains a 25 volume developer that is powerful enough to lift the hair while being safe for at-home lightening. Moisture in the hair that's removed during the lightening process is replaced with soy protein and coconut oil to protect, condition, and strengthen hair while lightening. This formula is cruelty-free, gluten-free, and vegan. So there are proteins in here to help your hair. Honestly, I love 25 volume. That's like my ideal volume. I normally bleach my hair at 20 or 25 volume, so this kit is literally perfect for me. I'm naturally level 7. This camera definitely makes my regrowth look darker than what it is, but I'll put on screen, like with my phone camera, what my actual hair looks like. So let's go ahead and open it and see what comes inside. Inside, you're gonna get some gloves. I call these lunch lady gloves. I'm just gonna throw these away. I always just buy my own from Dollar Tree. You can get a pack of 10 for $1.25, and these are vinyl gloves. I love these. This is what I use like every single time I'm dyeing my hair. So then you get the powder lightener and you get the developer. So there's 1.34 ounces of the powder, and then there's 4 fluid ounces of the developer. So it's a 1-to-2 ratio. It's actually a little bit more than that, but basically it's a 1-to-2 ratio. 1 part of the powder, 2 parts of the developer. Inside the carton, there's also more instructions. So let's go ahead and open this and see what it recommends for processing time. Okay, here's the inside of the box. Okay, it says ammonia-free, peroxide-free, formaldehyde-free, 4-ABP-free, PPD-free, persulfates-free, I don't even know how to pronounce this word, free, MEA-free, nickel-free, paraben-free. This is the word I couldn't pronounce. All the information that's inside of this is not pertaining to the lightener. It's talking, I'm guessing, more about the color, because it says step 1, bleach your hair. Step 2, basically you're gonna dye your hair. So this is just like a generalized information, like I guess if you're wanting to go to blonde and then dye your hair color. This does not pertain to the bleach kit you're getting directly. I just realized the instructions are actually on the outside of the box. This is just extra information, I guess, about the company. And if you want to dye your hair, there's more information in there. So here it is. Directions for use. Always wear gloves. Pour contents of the Good Dye Young powder lightener into the Good Dye Young biodegradable toolkit. I didn't get a toolkit. Was I supposed to get a toolkit with this? No, it says right here, Kit includes powder lightener, cream developer. So I'm guessing they sell a biodegradable toolkit separately that they're assuming that you're going to purchase. So it says, pour lightener into the Good Dye Young biodegradable toolkit. Add entire bottle of the Good Dye Young cream developer, 4 ounces, mix together to a smooth, creamy consistency. Apply to hair. Cover with a plastic cap or foil to avoid drying out and wait no longer than 50 minutes or until the desired tone is achieved. Shampoo thoroughly with Good Dye Young wash. Once dry, your hair is ready for the next Good Dye Young semi-permanent color of your choice. So there it is. You don't exceed 50 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and mix this up in a bowl here. I am going to be using foil because I'm working in such a small section here. I need to foil it to make sure it's precise so I'm not getting it on any of my roots back here. So let me mix this up and then we will start applying it. All right, I just mixed this up and it is extremely liquidy. Do you guys see that? Like, I would not be able to apply this to my hair right now because it is basically like soup and it's gonna slide everywhere on my hair. So I'm gonna let this sit for a second and I'm gonna go ahead and section off the area that I want to bleach, and hopefully this will thicken up a little bit because right now this is it's gonna be a hot mess. It's gonna slide everywhere, it's gonna bleed, it's gonna transfer. It needs to be a little bit thicker than this. Again, this is like soup. So I'm gonna let it sit. We're gonna section off my hair real quick and then I will let you guys know if it gets thicker or not. All right, you guys, this is the area I have sectioned off. You guys can see I have all of these roots and then I have a little bit of roots here. So we're gonna go ahead and apply this all over. Let me split this so you can see how much more I added. So here you guys can see I didn't add that much more. I just added like a tiny bit of a sliver so it's like actually a chunk and not just like a little money piece. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and start the application process. This is thickening a lot, by the way. Like, look at this now. That took me probably like 3 minutes to section. It is now like poofy and like flour dough. It literally reminds me of flour dough. So this is what it looks like now. It's no longer extremely runny. So if you're gonna use this, I would definitely recommend waiting a second until it thickens up, or else you're just gonna have bleach sliding all over your hair. So last time I really struggled with this, but I did find an easier way to do it. So I'm gonna start at the front here and I'm gonna take thin sections and we're just gonna pull down and touch up the root area. I think this is going to be way more successful than the last time we tried it. Okay, I'm just gonna touch up my hairline right here since this is going to be laying down on a foil. So now we can do this properly and only hit my regrowth area and hopefully not overlap and not cross-contaminate onto the rest of my hair that's growing out. Kind of difficult to do because I have a foil laying in my face, but I'm peeking around both sides, just trying to get that regrowth right there. Okay, now I'm gonna bring down the next section and we're just gonna keep repeating the process, doing the same thing. Okay, I'm gonna pull that taunt. And then when I get to that part where my regrowth is a little bit longer, I'm gonna lay a new foil down because obviously I'm gonna have to drag the lightener down to like here, and I obviously don't want that sitting on top of all of this blonde here. So I'm gonna just grab a new foil and put one to separate the old blonde areas and the new blonde areas. So that way all of that lightener is not sitting on this hair that has already been bleached. All right, I'm just gonna bring down the rest of the hair that only has like an inch of regrowth, and then I'll have to put a new foil down. After I get this done, it'll be a lot easier to touch up because I'll have the section that I'm just gonna continue to touch up. Right now, it's a little bit more difficult because obviously I have 2 different regrowths happening here. Oh my gosh, you guys see how much longer that is than the rest of my hair? That's a little crazy. All right, I'm just gonna go ahead and touch up this. I feel like I sectioned it off good enough. This will be the last section where I just touch up this little bit at the top, and then I'll put a foil down on top of this and then bring down the last section, and I'll have to bring that down, you know, twice the length of these roots right here. I can see in through here I have some darker pieces, so I think I'm just gonna feather it down just a little bit, a light little feather here, just on those areas. I'm not gonna squish it because I don't want it to bleed on the other pieces, so I'm just gonna do this because I don't think there's any way I can precisely section out all of those little tiny sliver like millimeter hairs. So we're gonna hope that this works, you guys. I should have just taken a bigger section to begin with so I wouldn't have to deal with this right now, but here we are, if it isn't the consequences of my own actions. All right, let's pull down this last section. This is a part that I have to be very, very careful of. If you're nervous about like bleaching one section of your hair and you're worried about it bleeding, you can always grab some wax sticks. I have two different kinds that I like, and you can take this and slick down the hair around the section that you're bleaching, so that way if any bleach does get on there, it's protected by that wax. You can also do that with gel. Ideally, I would have liked to put the bleach on this first and let it sit, but I had to work from bottom to top because obviously if I start at the top here, I won't be able to see what I'm doing. So I kind of had to work with what I got, start at the bottom, work my way up. If I would have started applying bleach here, I would have had to flip all of it back, and then there's more chance of it, like, you know, transferring and bleeding onto my other roots. I normally let my lightener sit like 45 minutes. I just like to check it as it processes to kind of see what's going on. So that's exactly what we're gonna do. Put this other foil over the top here just to keep it incubated and keep the heat in. All right, now that I have everything applied, like I said, I'm gonna let this sit and process. I'm guessing around 45 minutes. I am gonna check it every 10, and I think halfway through the processing time, like 20 minutes in, I'm gonna pull all the foils out, and then I'm gonna slice through and make sure I got everything and I don't see any brown spots. So I'm just gonna do some cross-checking halfway through the processing time, make sure everything is coated and it looks like it's lifting evenly. Because I'm dealing with two different bands here, I wanna make sure they all lift to the same pale yellow. This lightener just keeps swelling and keeps swelling. It has big like bubbles in it and it swells a lot. It was swelled up to the top of the bowl and I just got done mixing it, and then it went back down because there's so many air pockets in it from it swelling. So this bleach is really, really bad with swelling. It also gets thicker and thicker and thicker throughout the process. Honestly, I'm not really a fan of how thick it's gotten. It's like you have to find that fine line of too thick and too runny, and this just continues to swell. It's very normal for lighteners to swell within the first like 5 to 10 minutes of mixing, but for them to continuously just keep bubbling and swelling the whole time you're like doing the application process, that's what I don't like. So I'm gonna let this bowl sit here while this is processing. I am feeling a little bit of tingling on my scalp. I will be right back either midway through or I'll be back after I rinse this off, and we're gonna see how my hair feels. That's like the most important thing to me. Even though it swells and it's a little bit more difficult to apply and it will probably bleed onto other blonde sections because of the swelling, I wanna see how the integrity of my hair feels. This area around my hairline is super fragile, so I am curious to know how my hair is gonna feel afterwards. The other thing I do like about it is it doesn't have a super strong smell to it. There is no fragrance, so it is just the bleach smell. But like the bowl is sitting right in front of me and I don't smell it. I literally have to pick up the bowl and put it right here in order for me to smell that like bleach and ammonia. So it is very, very low odor. So if you're not a fan of super strong smells, this bleach is really nice with how little it smells. All right, I'm gonna let this sit and I will be right back so we can see what it looks like. All right, you guys, it's been about 25 minutes since I first applied this, and I went ahead and touched up the areas here and took out the foil. As you can see, it's lifting really well. My skin is getting really irritated and my scalp is burning a little bit, so I'm not a fan of that. This is like really, really burning my scalp area, and the whole reason I turned on the camera is because I wanted to show you the lightener. Look at this, you guys. This is literally, watch. It is literally all air in here. It keeps swelling so bad. See, now it's back to a creamy consistency. Not even, oh my gosh, you guys, hell no. I apologize, but it sucks. This bleach is really freaking bad, you guys. I'll never use this again in my life, okay? I'll tell you that. If I remember correctly, this is exactly how it was the first time I used it. This just keeps bubbling. You guys see how much product is in here now versus when I just showed you a second ago? That's how much it keeps bubbling. Like I just stirred this, okay? And now it's all flat, it's all creamy again. Within 10 minutes, this will be swollen back up to the rim, and there's like air holes in it because it swells so bad. And it swells really bad on your scalp too, and my scalp is literally on fire right now. So I can officially say I am not a fan of this. Even if it gives me the best lift ever and my hair is intact and I have no breakage, I would not use it just because of the formulation and how horrible it is to work with. I'm sorry. I wish I liked it. I really wanted to like it, but I don't. I don't like it at all, and I will never use it again. So I'm gonna let this finish processing probably about 20 more minutes. I'm just gonna keep an eye on it, see how it's lifting, and I will be right back so I can show you the bowl. So I'll be back in 20 minutes. We can look at the bowl again and we'll see what my hair looks like. All right, guys, I am back. Here is the finished result. You guys can see my hairline right here, how red and irritated my scalp is. My scalp is not happy. When I was rinsing it off, my scalp literally felt like it was on fire. So yeah, I definitely did not enjoy this lightener, and I hate saying that. I don't know if they were formulated or not, to be honest with you. Ooh, when I go like this, my scalp is so tight up there. Whoa, that feels crazy. Anyway, I don't know if they were formulated or not because honestly, nothing seems different to me from the first time I used it. It swells. That's probably the worst swelling lightener I have ever used. It just continuously swells the whole time you're applying the bleach. It did lift my hair really well, but so does every other lightener I use, and it doesn't hurt my scalp and it doesn't swell as bad. So yeah, I definitely will not ever be using this again. Even if they reformulate it, I probably will not use it again. I will leave a link to some of my favorite lighteners in the description down below for you guys. I wound up leaving it on for 40 minutes, so it did a good job lifting, but honestly, like I said, so does so many other different lighteners. Oh god, my scalp is just so irritated. Like, that redness is not just from where my makeup came off. Like, my scalp just feels so tight and irritated. Thankfully, I only did this little spot here and I didn't do like my whole head. I literally cannot even imagine doing my whole head with this, how much breakage I would have. Not only did I have all those other issues, but the lightener, because it swells, it flakes and like dries out very easily. So I had little flakes like falling all over my lap and all over my filming area. And also, when I rinsed off the bleach, my hair didn't feel like extremely strong. It just felt like it normally does when I lift my hair. So I don't think there's anything special about this lightener from my experience. It didn't make my hair feel any better than any other lightener. It actually made my hair feel worse than any other lightener. I hate saying that because I do like good dye young, but this lightener would be absolutely no for me. Like, absolutely will not touch this again. So I will be trying a different lightener next time it is time to touch up our regrowth. But can we just talk about how even it is and how good it lifted? For me having like this much regrowth back here and only a little bit up here, it did a great job at like making everything even. I think that's partially application, and I'm really happy with the size of this chunk. I'm glad I took a little bit more. I love this size. Before I even did more, I did like this much more probably, and I like this size. I'm happy with this. I don't want to do any more for now. I'm gonna let it sit another like 2 months, and then if I want to do more I can, but I'm pretty happy with the size of this face framing now. And I also don't think it looks as weird because my roots have grown out more. It does look weird because my ends are like a pinky ashy blonde and like this is really yellow, so obviously these two aren't the same color, but I'm getting ready to dye my hair a new color. And you guys are going to see it in my next video. So again, I will leave my favorite lighteners in the description down below. That is all for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to check out my Instagram. The link to that is in the description down below. I post way more of my everyday life on there. Give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.